All right, we're good. We're good.
Hey, welcome everybody for the second time. All right. So what I want to start off today is talking about any wins that we've had. Okay. No matter how small or how big, let's first start off with an emotional high today and say, okay, what wins happened in our group in the last week? I want everybody to think about something. It doesn't necessarily have to be with your business, just something you feel like happened good to you this week. Okay. So who wants to go first? Tabitha, you volunteered? Great. All righty.
Kind of put me on the spot there. Let's see. A win since Wednesday?
Yep. Could be anything.
Go on. You won't make too much noise. I'm sending the husband away. He's going to Kroger's. So let's see. I don't know. Like I said before, I'm pretty boring.
Tabitha, did
Oh,
you
yeah.
get your power of one?
I did get my power of one, but today I finally got the courage to start my group. And I haven't made a video yet, but I did take everything out of my closet, and it's sitting in my floor preparing for my how to organize my closet video. So I feel like that's a big win for me. So
That is a big win.
yeah.
Congratulations.
We'll see where we can go with this. Although the messy bedroom is kind of like disturbing right now, but there's it was already organized. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" So I said, "Well, Mike said like to do this." So now
I feel like that's going to be the next shirt. Well, Mike said.
Well, his name's Michael as well, so.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Maura.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. We can't
Okay,
see, but we can hear you.
I know, I'm in the dark. Sorry. Getting back from shopping. My win is I've had a couple of potential customers that have said they did not want to purchase until January. And I contacted them yesterday and told them about the Amare Live and that there's always a good promo. And so they wanted to hear about it, and will probably purchase on Wednesday.
Nice.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Nice. Great. All right. Crystal.
Okay, so I finally had my first 2 launch pack conversations, and I haven't heard back completely from the people, but we did have the full conversation, and so it was pretty easy. It wasn't, as difficult as I thought, but I don't think I wasn't doing it necessarily like I can't do it or I don't want to do it. It was just I needed that kind of script and something to flow. I just need the wording sometimes because it's still, a lot of things are still fresh and new. So yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a win.
That's great. But the thing about it is they didn't shoot you down right away, right? They still don't know. They're contemplating it.
Right.
And that's all we can ask. Whether they sign up for that or sign up for something else, at least they know and they can't complain later.
And one of them started out with, I just don't have the money. I'm only a waitress. I can't do, but we got all the way to that conversation. So that was nice. Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing too. They don't have the money until they know that it's worth it. At which point anybody can find the money. That's why you have the conversation. That's why you show the video and the benefits and say, look, I understand that you want to start with a lower package, and that's okay. And I'll help you with that. I just need you to know all the information before we get started. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's it. Great job. All right, Cindy.
Hello.
Hello.
So I don't know that I've really had a lot this week. I guess my biggest thing is I had honestly fallen off a little bit as far as doing my post and things like that. So I'm getting myself back together to get that going again.
Right? That's the normal holiday thing that happens, Cindy. So, you know what? You're one of the very, very few people that make it back before the end of the holidays. So congratulations. And that's a huge win that you realize that you need to step back into the game for the rest of the month. And we're going to talk about that as soon as we're done with this part. But yes, that's definitely something I wanted to hear. And thank you for that.
Sure.
All right, let's go with Kelly Smith.
Hello. You might be able to hear the kids. They might be too loud, so I'll hurry.
That's all right.
I got my power of one.
Yay.
I had my first conversation for a launch pack. And my biggest thing probably was that I reached out to 2 people in my power base. Instead of them like coming to me, it's people I'd been wanting to talk to.
Nice. So we got an overachiever here. All right. She got 3 things. That's great. Stephanie.
Sorry, I was having trouble with it unmuting. So I've got a couple of things actually. I've got 2 really strong leads that said that they wanted to begin their journey this week. And then I've got, and I got a bonus at work with my regular job. So those are some good things.
All right. That's awesome. And let's go with, who haven't we got yet? Joe and Janelle. Just Joe then. Just Janelle then. Neither then. How's that? All right, we'll go to Kamala, and then we'll come back to Joe and Janelle.
All right. So part of the week I've been under the weather, but today I picked back up on follow-ups and inviting people to Amare Live. And 2 of my conversations turned into launch pack conversations. And I know that both of them are going to join as wellness partners on Wednesday, but I believe that at least one of them will move forward with the launch pack. So I've said it probably a dozen times in the past 2 weeks, but I will never not lead with the launch pack again. So it's not every person I've talked to. I mean, they're not always saying yes, but there's never a negative. So why are we not offering it to everyone?
Yeah, because the way that we're giving it out, the way that we're training people on is so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's non-threatening. You're literally doing them a favor by showing it to them. Remember, the one thing we don't do is sell with our wallet. Go ahead.
I'm so grateful that you trained us in that way, because it is so simple, and it's sort of like, duh, like why weren't we doing it to begin with? So thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So some of this might be a review from if you were on the earlier call today. So I know a couple of you are on there, but we're going to add a little spice to it as well. So how do we introduce ourselves when somebody asks, what do you do as a business? Not really verb. Does that make sense? What do we do as a business? And then how many people get stuck with that question? Like you don't know how to answer it, right? So we found out that leading with the products is usually the best way to lead. You can lead with business and stuff, but leading with the products is duplicatable because all the information is there on the app, right? So somebody says, oh, what do you do? What's your business? You know, I partnered with the very first holistic mental wellness company. And a lot of people think that all we do is create holistic supplements, all natural supplements for people that have stress, anxiety, and depression. But what they don't realize is the fact that we have so many products for physical and mental optimization as well. Now, what question would people ask?
Maybe I've had somebody ask me this in the past 2 weeks. So what's mental optimization?
Perfect. That's what we want them to ask, right? And then just say, do you know people that would like to have better memory or better sleep or to lose weight naturally or to anti-age, you know, or to feel their body full of feel-good neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, right? Who's going to say no to that? Now you're getting to a realm where people want to buy your products. They don't feel that they need to now, right? But they want to, because now you have stuff that's fun stuff, right? Think about that. It's not the, oh, stress, anxiety, depression, boo-hoo, right? No, it's like, oh, I got better memory. Yay, I got better sleep. I can get my full night's sleep in 6.5 hours. That should be a top seller or a top way of getting people in. Why? Think about how many people just don't have enough time to sleep 8 hours. It's not that they can't. They physically just don't have the time because of kids and school and work and everything else, and just get everything done in a day. Maybe 6.5 hours is all they get. Now think about aging. What's the most common reason why people age quicker than they should? The lack of restful sleep. Like, if you're not going into your full rejuvenation sleep cycle, what do you think you're not doing? What does rejuvenation even mean? Right? So think about that. How many people here would love to slow down the aging process? Every one of us, right? And getting good night's sleep is one of the most important things. Could you not post about that in and of itself and probably gain a lot of people just from that, right? So think about being, very, very singularly focused on your posts, casting as many nets as you can, right? You're trying to get people to engage in asking questions. So you want to put out thought-provoking information, but not give the answer, right? Why would I need to contact you if I already know what the product name is, I know the company name, and I can just go Google it? I don't have to communicate with you at all. But if I don't know what the product is, I don't know the name of the company, then what do I have to do to get your product? I got to contact you to get it, right? So remember, what is attraction marketing? It's when you're pulling people towards you, right? People are gravitating. Let me put that better that way. They're gravitating to you. You're not forcing them to you. Does that make sense? You're not hard closing them. You're giving out great information, and you're helping people make the right decision to come to you and ask the right questions. That's all we're doing, is we're baiting hooks. We're baiting multiple hooks, right? So what's the major hook we got right now? People have been talking about it. What's the one thing we want to get everybody onto on Wednesday? Amare Live, right? I heard you yell at Kamala, but your sound was off. I saw you yell, I didn't hear you, right? But Amare Live, why? You know how many people we sign up on Amare Live? We signed up 200 people last time. And a lot were from your team. So for those of you that aren't inviting people to Amare Live, why not? Oh, I know why not. You don't know how, right? That would be the major thing that's stopping you, is what do I say to get somebody onto Amare Live? Now, Pat always says you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, the right thing to the wrong person, right? And that's kind of true. But this call is for all the people that are fence sitters, or somebody that says, I'm going to do this later. All you do is tell them, hey, look, we have this call that's coming up. And every time that they do this call, they very rarely do these calls, but when they do, they have great promotions. You should jump on. I bet we could get you in for a lot less money. Right? So you're going to go that route. For other people, that let's say that your friends and family just haven't been interested, and you say, hey, hey, Crystal, can you do me a huge personal favor? My company's doing an Amare Live, and the more people I have on from my teams that that I can show I've had on, the better that I do. I don't need you to buy anything or do anything, Crystal. I just need you to participate with me. Can you help me out? Right? That's how you get the friends and family on, the lost leaders. And who cares if they don't convert? Don't put your stock in what's going to happen. You got to put your stock in what you need to do to get things to happen. Your only job is to get people onto the call. Our job as Amare is to convert them. And what we're doing has been converting a lot of people. Think about it. We have about 500 people that joined that call. 200 of them signed up. Right? And let me tell you, a lot of people on that call were already signed up. So I would say that a large majority of new people that joined that call signed up. So why aren't you getting your people onto that call? And I'm not saying that you're not. Your team is highly aggressive at getting people onto that call. So definitely keep that up. All right. So we got about 10 more minutes. And what I want to do in those next 10 minutes is really find out why, if you're not using the scripts that we're learning, if you're not inviting new team members on, if you're not getting people on board, what is stopping you from being successful? What is the major hang up that you're having? So, and this isn't what we're going to answer today. I want you to think about this. So in the very beginning, I said, hey, let's think of positive things, right? Let's think of positive things that happened to you this week. How many people actually struggled with that a little bit? Yeah, a lot of you are shaking your heads, and the ones that aren't, you don't even have your picture on, so I can't tell if you are or not, right? But the reason why you're shaking your head is, can I be honest? Is that okay? I'm not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. It's because you have a negative mindset, and that needs to change. And you know who you are if you have a negative mindset. And guess what? It's a habit you've got to break. Do you want to know how to break it? How many people here have an accountability work partner in Amare? Like somebody you talk to on the daily that you work with? Okay. Hopefully that's everybody. Everybody has somebody. If not, then Camilla is your work partner because she is your team leader. Okay. So this is my challenge for this week. Number one, let's get everybody on the Amare live call as possible. Number two, if you're not using the scripts, use them. Don't listen to me, listen to your other team members that are starting to have results from it. You're going to start seeing launch packs start trickle into the group. If you want your income to trickle in with it, you've got to use a script. Now, how do you break yourself of the negative mindset? You go 3 weeks without being negative, and you have an accountability partner that says, hey, you need to rephrase what you're saying. I can't talk to you unless you rephrase that in a positive way. And there's nothing that you can't figure out in a positive way. Right? Well, what's that going to do for you? That's going to make you find positive solutions, not just here at Amare, but in everyday life. Right? How many people want to be the Debbie Downer that as soon as you walk in the room and everybody doesn't want to be around you because you're the person that complains about it? I'm not saying that's you, but how many people know somebody like that? Where you're just like, uh-oh, here comes so-and-so in the room. I'm running to the other side. Now's a good time to pass out and look like I passed out because I don't want to deal with that person, right? I'm just kidding. Do you want to be that person here at Amare? No. We're our name means love, for heaven's sakes, right? It doesn't mean, complain. So I promise you, your productivity and the people you attract will go tenfold if you get a positive mindset. Why? Because how many people love to be around positive people that just make you feel better about yourself? So for the next 3 weeks, be that person. Instead of finding something bad to say about that person, figure out what it is good about that person, the reason why you connected with them in the first place. Take your mindset to a different level. And I promise you, you'll start attracting more people because you will be more attractive. And I don't mean physically. I mean your aura of attractiveness. And I don't mean that in any eclectic spiritual way. I'm just saying that you emit energy when you're happy, right? Can't you, like you can walk into a room and you feel it change when you're around happy people. And then all of a sudden you can feel that negative person walk in the room, right? That's because our bodies emit, it's called body language. It's not a weird science or anything or some weird religion. It's just that you can tell when people are not happy, right? Because they're setting off bad vibes or what we call bad body language, okay? So what I want people to also look for this week is for those body language changes. And how do you keep yours positive? right? How many people notice that it's really hard to be upset and look up? Have you noticed that? Like, what does everybody do when they're upset? How's their posture? It's down. Their head's down, everything's down. When your posture's straight up and you're looking up and you're smiling, it's actually really hard to be upset. Because guess what? When your eyes go down, you're accessing the emotional part of your brain. When your eyes go up, it goes into the logical part of your brain, where it's either stored memory or creative memory, right? So if you can't access that part of your brain, it's really hard to be upset. Does that make sense? That's why the posture makes a difference. That's why looking up makes a difference. Okay? And here's a more tactile or a physical thing. How many people here were on the verge of like, you're gonna throw up, but then all of a sudden you look up and you're like breathing and you're calming down? How many people have done that, right? Like your stomach's queasy, but you look up, you're like, okay, I'm good, right? That's because you're not accessing the feeling part of your brain. So your body starts to ignore that weird feeling and starts to go in a more positive direction. So it even works for that. Okay? So I want everybody this week to be positive. And I want you to tell next week what the changes have made. So first, number one, most importantly, use your scripts. Number two, get people on to the Amare Live call. Number three, look at the positive side of everything. Your significant other will thank me if you can pull this off. 1000% will thank me. Okay? So, questions. I've got 4 minutes and I've got to jump on another call.
I have one really quick question.
Go ahead.
I know you've been studying it for years, but do you have like a basic body language book?
Okay, so here's the first book that I read that changed my life. And it's going to sound so cliche, I don't even want to say it. So everybody has heard of Tony Robbins, right? His very first book, called Unlimited Power, is basically the usage of NLP and how he used it, but he also teaches you how to do that in the book. If you make it past that and you're really interested, then contact me. I'll take you deeper down the rabbit hole, but you have to read that book first. But trust me, that is the very beginning of the rabbit hole. But if you can master NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, or not even master it, if you can just become, proficient at it and not have to think about it, your life is completely different. Like when you learn that you actually get to choose your emotion. Like how many people have ever said, well, you made me feel that way, right? Have you ever said that to somebody? You know what my response is when somebody tells that? I said, wow, thank you for letting me have that much power over you. And they're like, you don't. I go, well, then I can't make you feel any way. Well, you didn't. Okay, so why are you blaming it on me? Right? It's true. I can't make you feel anything that you choose not to feel. Because between what happens and your response, you have a time to choose. That's why in some cultures, when somebody dies, they celebrate. In other cultures, they're sad, right? Because that's the choice that culture has made. Like when I go, I don't want a funeral, I want a huge party. Like I want people having fun, dancing, doing everything. And I want my ashes thrown over the side of a cruise ship and be done with it. I don't want my kids to have to carry around anything or go visit me and clean off my gravestone. That just sounds horrible. I want them to remember me for who I was and how vibrant of a person I was, not some thing in the ground and that's just me, right? Some people are like, I've got to have that. My parents have the plots paid for, everything, blah, 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 right? That's just not the way I see it. I see it as I'm moving on to somewhere better, so celebrate with me. But I don't need to be here anymore. Does that make sense? If you want to remember, you put my picture on the wall and let's call it good, right? But everybody has their own thing, but that's my choice to make. But it's a positive choice. Does that make sense? Turn your choices to the positive for a week and tell me a week from now that it didn't make a huge difference. And it's not the easiest thing to do because we want to gravitate to the negative. We always do. But if you can learn to gravitate to the positive, your life will be so much better moving forward. All right, last thing, okay? Amare Live, number one. Use use the scripts that you're learning. If you can't remember the scripts, call somebody, re-get the scripts. And every time you use the script, on the phone with somebody and tell them, hey, this is amazing, look what worked. And if it didn't work, say, hey, I tried it, didn't work. What do you think I could do to improve it? That's switching it to the positive. Not, oh crap, it didn't work, never works for me. Yeah, because it doesn't, because that is your attitude. And that's a problem, right? So everybody get rid of your stinking thinking, get to the positive for a week, and I promise you, you'll like that place better. And that is 4:30. I've got to run, but I'll let you guys continue on with the call. I'm going to jump out here, and I will
Thanks,
see you
Mike.
all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Talk
Thank
to you all soon. If I can actually get out of here. Look at all these pop-up windows just going everywhere here. But I love it because I'm a positive person. All right, we'll see you later.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
All right. So if any of you are looking for the scripts that he's talking about, they're all on our wellness partner page. So if you search in Level Up Leaders for either Amare Live wording or Amare Live, you will find a couple of different things. You'll find a video. I think that, yeah, you'll find a video of me talking about exactly what I do to be successful with Amare Live, and also the scripts of what I say in each of those steps. First off is tonight, if you can, I highly recommend going ahead and sending out invitations if you have not already. You can use that wording. There's 3 or 4 different ways. You can do it by voice memo or voice text on Facebook Messenger or text or whatever you want to do, or you can simply copy and paste it. And I always make sure that my invite requires a response, regardless if they want to attend or not. I want to know. So I try to put it out there for them to let me know, because it's really easy for me, and this is why I chose to do it. It's really easy if Tabitha sends me an invite to something tonight, and it might be something that I really want to do. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And I just sort of put it to the side. And then if I haven't let Tabitha know, yeah, I'm really interested, so she doesn't come back to me and remind me by Wednesday, I might not remember. That's just my life. So I automatically assume that the majority of people probably need that same courtesy. So my goal is for you to respond and say, yeah, that sounds like something I might like. And me to be able to say, okay, I'll send you more information. Now, when I send them more information, I tell them exactly the ways that they can watch it. I talk about it being on Facebook. I talk about the Zoom link, theamare.com/live. And I let them know that there's going to be a watch party on my Facebook page. I let them know the time. And then I also make sure that they know that if they cannot attend, I have a coupon code for them. If you don't think you can attend, let me know and I'll get that code to you. Again, I don't want to go ahead and send it, because then it's not another drip or reminder that I have the ability to reach out to them with. So if they come back and say, you know, I just don't think I can make it, I have church on Wednesday night, but I am interested in the promotion, then I say, oh, great. As soon as the event starts, I'll make sure I send you the coupon code. And so that's another way for me to reach out to them, even though they can't make it to the event. Now, if they can make it to the event, I say, oh, great. I'm so glad you can join me. I'll make sure to send you a reminder before the event begins. And so I touch base with every person 3 times is my goal, starting tonight up until the Amare Live. And then as soon as the event's over, I jump on and I say, hey, did you get a chance? Or if they weren't sure, I'll say, did you get a chance to jump on the event? If not, remember, I do still have the promotion available for you. If they did jump on, or they told me they were going to, I like to say, hey, how did you like it? What stood out to you? So that we can converse about what they like or what they thought. And I have carts ready And all of this is summarized in my video. But I have carts ready for the people I've already been talking to so that I can send it right to them with the promo code after the event. And then I have some like go-to carts. What is that called? Like a cart template that are my favorite carts. Like if people are just like all around, you know, there's some people to me are just like the average individual that you're like fundamentals, energy, and mood. You know, that's like my average mom. I'm pretty good, but I want to be healthier cart. And so that's usually what I will send to people like that. But I already have them made up. It will save you so much time on that evening. So does anybody have questions specifically about that? Or we have plenty of time. If you guys have questions about anything else, I'd like to address Amare Live first because I think it is so important to leverage this event. Remember, you have whatever promotion that they're going to give us that night, which I have a feeling will be free enrollment, but that's not guaranteed. I do think that that's what it's going to be though. And on top of your 150 points. So you're going to be able to leverage a stacked promotion for that night. So it's just, I really do have great success with these nights. Like I might not enroll people all month, but I enroll a good amount on that night. And I really reach out to every single person in my funnel. I do not leave anybody unreached. So, and you know, reach out to your power base, like Mike said. That is actually not something that I have done and I will probably begin doing. That's another option as well. So if you don't have a lot of people in your funnel right now, that's a good option. Any questions specifically about that?
Well, it's not so much a question as whenever I've done the Amare Lives in the past, if it was a free promotion, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm in with the movie. I go ahead and fix up their cart as a wellness partner since it's free. And I have not had anybody turn me down for it because it's free. And if they decide they want to earn something, then they're already there. And then they can choose the next year to just do preferred customer when it comes down to paying for it the next year.
I totally agree with that. Like that route. There are some leaders that might not, because some leaders feel like if you enroll as a wellness partner, then you need to be ready to build the business. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that for the main reason, there's no additional obligation. So I'm not putting you in some kind of obligatory thing that you didn't ask for. And like you said, then they have the ability to get their products for free if they choose to do so. So I choose to do that exact same thing. There are a couple people that I've had that, you know, when they ask about obligations or what's the difference, because some people will notice that there's a, you know, when they're researching it, and that's fine. And I will let them know there's no difference in obligation. Like you don't have a quota, because that's always people's question. Do I have a quota to meet? And I never have anybody say no, even though it's free, I still want to be a preferred customer. Once you've explained it well, it just makes sense to go ahead and do it. So yeah, I think that's great advice, Maura. Anybody else have questions about Amare Live or anything? No?
Is there anything that you suggest to put on our page, like, I don't know, just to catch attention in general, to maybe, you know, create more leads before to invite to Amare Live? You know, just, I don't know, anything that's particularly catchy that creates interest.
For me, like my goal would be to try to have a really good post tomorrow, just so you can possibly get more individuals in your funnel. Same thing with your stories. I would, you know, be very intentional about getting whatever you know that your audience is probably going to respond best to out there, whether that be the product benefits, a specific product, you know, whatever that you think that your audience is more geared towards. So I would try to do that tomorrow. On Wednesday itself, I think if you want to do an invite post, you know, you're still looking at wanting to lay out the benefits or part of your testimony, or, you know, whether it's the business, whatever. And then at the end, instead of talking about like a call to action being, hey, reach out to me if this looks like something that, you know, you want to find change in as well, I would change that invite to something along the lines of, I have a great virtual opportunity this evening. I'm going to be streaming it on my page. Be a fly on the wall, jump on and check it out. You know, because some people are just really leery about reaching out and saying, yeah, send me all the information, I want to invite. But if you let them know that there's absolutely no, like, as far as, I mean, you can see who's watching your watch party, but not everybody's going to like think it that far, that deep. So if you let people know that you're going to be putting it on your page and they can just jump on and watch it, then that's an invite that's at least a drip, if nothing else, even if they don't reach out to you. So that's the kind of post I would do on Wednesday as far as an invite post. I don't know if anybody else, Janelle or Joe or Kayla, have you guys done anything different with as far as that night, like letting people know specifically on your page, or do you just do it as a personal invite?
I mostly do personal invite. I think if you want to impact people for Wednesday, you really need to post on Monday. That's just how my algorithm works. I always get a boost 2 days into, like Joe posted this evening, inviting people for.
Yeah, I went ahead and posted this evening because I know that if I don't,
That was like an hour ago.
if I wait till tomorrow, they're going to see it either that day or the next day, and that's just
They see it
my
Thursday.
Facebook. People are commenting on posts that I posted 2 days ago right now. So it's just how it works. But yeah.
So I don't know that everybody's algorithm's that way, but individual invite. And I try to the same thing. I try to do it early because I feel like a lot of people see it after. Like the next day, oh, I didn't see this yesterday. And they say, tell me that on Thursday or Friday, which now they've been more apt to extend that enrollment offer, where at first when we did Amare Lives, they never did that. So that's nice.
I definitely agree that early is better. Like I have a better response if I begin inviting today than I would if I begin sending out messages tomorrow.
Yeah.
Something else I do not do is I do not ever say, hey, this deal is going to be good for 24 hours, or I don't do that.
Yeah.
I just carry it out like it's just that day, and then I extend it. I let them know it's been extended if they don't respond that evening, just in case they, you know, something occurred and they didn't make it to the event, or they didn't check their Facebook or whatever. But I do not say, hey, this deal is good for 2 days, because it just doesn't, and I don't really remember what Pat's changed it to. Like he tries to create that same FOMO. So people are going ahead and pushing it through on Wednesday night. But then it's a good follow-up on Thursday to be able to say, hey, they extended it through. And I'm guessing, I mean, I don't even know if they're going to do that, to be honest, but I'm guessing they will again this time.
Hopefully, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I have one more question. So I remember seeing something that someone said, if you're early in the game of your business, streaming it might not be the best thing because you're putting the business name out there. And like Mike just said, you really want to create curiosity. What is the business? What is the product? I have streamed it before, events and Amare Live, because I think that's awesome, you know, to share it with everyone. But then it really, you know, and I'm definitely in a very early stage of my business as far as putting it on my page. What is your take on that?
I honestly, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I've still never really thought about it. I have streamed it from the first month. So I can see like the thought about it, because it's sort of the opposite of attraction marketing, but I only leave it on for that night. Like I go and remove it the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that you're slamming your page or your stories with it. So I think like earlier today, I think Mike said, you know, it's your life with Amare sprinkled in.
And I think that's just like a sprinkle. It's not a,
Cool.
you know, slam, slam, slam. So
I like that.
Catherine, I still get people who message me and is like, what are you all doing? They don't even know. And I've had 8 months worth of live events. That's a great question though, because it does put what you're doing out there. But such a small amount of people really in the whole realm of Facebook
Right.
world that you can contact really even see it. So
Right.
it's really just, I think it's just really a good way to maybe use as a tool to push people who already are in contact more so than people. Like, it'd be very rare that you'd have somebody that just happened to see it and then are ready to purchase that night and have never heard of Amare. Like, it's really kind of just as a drip more so than a expose them to the name and they're ready to purchase. Most of the time, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, and I think what Crystal's saying is so true, because it's not like explosive, you know what I mean? It's not like, I mean, unfortunately, it'd be great if this happened, but it's not like 125 people are going to watch your Amare live. So it's like, you know, like 5 people are going to jump in and out, 1 or 2. I mean, I actually have, it's funny because one of them finally reached out to me this month, but I have for the past 3 months had 2 men, the same 2 men, every single month for 3 months watch my Amare live, the entire one. And I see it, but I have not reached out. Like, I've not reached out to people that jump on my watch party and don't say anything. I haven't yet. I have their names written down, but I don't know. I just haven't thought about how to tactfully do that or not. But I keep telling Damala, like, this is so odd. Why do they keep watching it? They don't like any of my posts. They haven't reached out. And finally, one of them did this month. But, you know, it's not like that there was a bunch of people with them doing that. And they have, well, and no offense, Joe, but they're men, so they didn't go and like research the whole thing. And their wives may have. But I don't think it's like Crystal said, you're not slamming it down to every single person on your friends list. I think it's fine.
I like that idea. Yeah. Because I really would like to use it. I think it's cool what they have to say. I mean, if somebody will hop on and listen for a few minutes, I mean, especially when Hip talks and at the beginning, you know, it's great information to share. So,
and now it's so much shorter. I love that because I think attention spans are not an hour and a half. So I really like the length that they've made it now. I think that's great.
People like hop on your watch parties and they stay on for like a second. They're like up, bloop, out. I'm like, what? How do you even know if that interests you? Like, what are you even doing? They're so short.
It's really good for your algorithm. So don't worry about it, because then they'll see your post the next day.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Well, I had prepared a post for tonight that was really a business post. Is that good for me to do tonight, since I'm not really doing a product post or dripping about the products?
I think that you can utilize it. Honestly, I think Amare Live, I don't know, I think Crystal and I have talked about this, but I think it's very heavy on the business. Whereas sometimes I think that some people would probably rather it be more heavy on the products. I've actually had people say this to me. So I think the business post is great for it. And you just let people know, even if you want to make it an invite post, just let people know that if it's something that they, you know, think that they could benefit from, that you have a great opportunity for them to jump on Wednesday night. Just let you know if they would like to get an invite to the virtual event. Does anybody else have anything they want to share if no one else has questions?
I have another question based on my business post. I kind of reworked one that I did about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. I used some of the same phrases, but I've changed stuff in it. Is that okay for me to do? I mean, it won't mess up my algorithm.
No, as long as you've went in and you've changed things, then, and it's been that long, I don't think that it should mess with it at all. Definitely use a different picture. And even if you're copying and pasting your own stuff, you really should change it, like you said, because it does. And I don't know the time frame. I just know that if you copy and paste anything word for word and don't change it, it flags it as a copy and paste. So you just need to be aware of that. Even when you're, you know, like you might hear Beck say, she says, if you find something online that you really like this is something we haven't really talked a lot about in our team. Sharing posts is really bad for your algorithm. Like going and saying, now I'm not saying don't ever share a post, because, you know, like you might want to share something of Joe and Janelle's Eden's Harvest. You might want to, you know, if you're truly supporting something, it's okay. It's not going to be like totally wreck it. But, you know, if your Facebook is full of shares from like, you know, whether it's videos that you like or scripture that you like, whatever it might be, you really should take it and rework it for yourself to post. Like if I see a scripture that I really like and it speaks to me today and I want to share it, I go and I make it myself on Canva before I post it and then make a post with it. Because if I use the same one that, let's say, Ann Voskamp used, and I just copy and paste it and I put it on mine, Facebook flags it as I've just copied and pasted it. As instead of sharing her page or whatever. So for whatever reason, both of those things, sharing it straight from somebody else's page and copying, pasting their images, is a flag that it's sort of spammy. And so it's not like people are looking at your stuff. The algorithm boosts it to look at their stuff. So
what about in stories?
No, there is nothing yet. I don't doubt that it will happen. Like right now, if you share from Instagram, if you share your Instagram post and you do the automated to your Facebook page, I'm talking post right now, it messes with your algorithm. If you do it in your stories, it does not. So there's not much about the story algorithm yet that is doing that. You're saying like if you liked one of my stories and you screenshotted it and then use it, is that what you're saying? Yeah, there's nothing yet that is doing that. So I try to really stay on top of those because the algorithm changes constantly, like literally monthly. There's new stuff that they add and take away.
How do you even know? I mean, I kind of see a little bit of a trend now that I post a lot, but how do you even know what their algorithms are? How do you, I mean, how you get this inside information?
I research it. Like I constantly research like new algorithm trends on social media, and I follow a lot of people on Instagram that do algorithm stuff. Pinterest has a lot of stuff. Like if you take the time to research it, you'll see the changes. Like don't just click on the first thing you research either, because if you look at 2012, none of it applies. Like it has to be really up to date.
I didn't know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have a question then, going back to Instagram and Facebook. Are you like I make my post on Instagram so that it posts on Facebook? Is that messing up my algorithm?
Yeah, you need to.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now, because the company is the same, when you copy and paste it, it doesn't, for right now, if you copy and paste it and use the same picture, it does not mess it up. But if you send it straight from Instagram to Facebook automated, it does.
But can't you also use Facebook Creator and Instagram Creator? Do you guys use that?
I do not use that. Is that
yeah, you type in Facebook Creator and it'll come up Facebook and Instagram. You have your two linked together. So like for my family, my husband has a Facebook, I do, and then we have a page together for his business stuff. And then we have one Instagram. So I go in, I make a post on Instagram, and then I can publish it right then, or I can schedule it to be published later, whatever date and time that I want. And it will go to the Facebook page when I desire it to. It'll go to the Instagram. That doesn't mess up the algorithm. And then I post separately on another page on Facebook. So
Have
but that's
you like you've researched it that it does
here.
not?
I'll show you. Hold on. Let me tell you the.
Because Beck says that anything automated or scheduled, like, flags the algorithm.
So it's Facebook Creator Studio. And there's a Facebook Creator Studio and an Instagram Creator Studio. And so what you do is when you make the post, you're just publishing it on those separate pages at different times or the same time. I'm not pushing it from one to the other.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And that doesn't mess with the algorithm.
Not that I'm aware of, but I
It
did.
just seems like there's a middleman for the same exact thing that Instagram already does. I don't see how it would defeat. I don't see how we could skip by it not messing with the algorithm. I do know the last update that Facebook did reset everybody's algorithms. The last update.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just seems to me like it would do the exact same thing. Because you can actually go to your Facebook and set a time. You can actually go to your Instagram and set a time if you do it from your computer. I'm just wondering how an app can change that.
It's not an app. It's actually just.
Oh, well, mine's an app on iPhone.
Oh.
So I just didn't know. Like,
I don't know. This is something my husband was using for his business before I
and it's
started
working.
doing this. So
And it's working. I feel like my algorithm's really off today. Like typically when I make a post, I get a lot more hits on it than I have today. And like today I've had 6 people. And I'm like, what's wrong with my post today? And I'm not saying like I'm just, Miss Popular over here. It's just, where are all the people at? Come on, it's Monday.
Sometimes and that's why, because it's Monday. Sometimes it's the day
Mm-hmm.
and the time that it gets posted. And honestly, that traffic changes all the time depending upon what's going on in our world. And it also changes according to your own audience. Like for example, Kayla and I know, and because we were doing this with doTERRA, like we were studying algorithms for the past 6 years. So with we knew that like if you posted between like 7 and 10 in the morning, lunch hour, and 7 and 10 at night, that's like a real basic thing. Like if you go through our 5-day launch, that's what we tell you to do because it's across the board. But like for Kayla, if in the morning I post something around 7 or 7:30, I get massive traffic. If Kayla posts it, then she doesn't get anything. But if she posts it, I think it's between, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if she posts it between like 8:30 and 9:30, she gets massive traffic. So you really have to pay attention to your own ebbs and flows too, because everybody's audience is even a little different. And the days really matter.
Yeah, I typically do a big post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and today has been by far the lowest day that I've ever had. So I didn't know if anyone else was getting hits, like low hits off of the algorithm today or not.
Yeah, I'm not good to
Just
ask.
you take a post tonight and then they'll see it 2 days later. So is your algorithm off, Joe and Janelle? Like, is that what you were saying? Like make a post tonight because people aren't going to see it for 2 days?
Sometimes that's how it is. Like, it'll still be, 4 days, 2 days and 4 days. That's just how it is for us. Like in 2 days, and then by 4 days old, I'll get more notifications. Somebody else has commented or seen it or liked. I don't know why that is. It just seems like that for me. But also, Tabitha, how long have you been sharing Amare on your Facebook page?
Since May. It's not just Amare, like it's just post in general, like generalized post. Like generally I can make just a random statement like I'm hot, and I would have a lot of, not like I'm hot, like, just people tell their whole lives on Facebook, and that was so bad. Like that's not what I meant. Like, gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
But no, just laughing at you. But no,
do you know what I mean? Like
you're just gonna have flows too. And if it's a good post, like eventually you will have slow down and engagement. Now,
maybe that's what I should put.
But I'm saying sometimes they're just watching and not commenting.
Shoot.
You know what I mean?
So it'll show you that people who have seen it, because you can actually, I've downloaded this thing that shows you who sees your Instagram and your Facebook. It shows you, and this is by far my lowest. Well, it's not just for that. I did it for privacy purposes, so I can lock everything off my.
What did you post on Sunday?
Oh, I don't know. I went from not telling anyone about my life to telling everybody, like when I cook, clean.
Well, because like another thing about my algorithm, if I have a really, really big post, I have to wait more than 12 hours or more than 24
I'm trying to
hours.
do this 3 times a week, if that. Like,
Okay.
my stories, I'm trying to be more persistent about stories, but again, I live in a very boring bubble. Like doing the tree, that was the most interesting thing I've done in a month.
I would highly recommend that you post once every 24 hours, unless, like Janelle said, you have, like if I have a post that just gets massive interest, I'll just let it ride for 2 days. And that doesn't have to be an Amare post, but I'm just having a post that has lots of comments. Some of my engagement posts take off to where I have, over 100, 200 comments. I'm not going to post again in 24 hours because it's going to compete with it. And I don't want to do that. I want that one that's really going to go. But if you're only posting on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just for example. I
said that, but I just looked back and I have post 4 days ago, post 5 days ago. And
what did you post? What post did you post today? Because I don't see it.
I made it, and then it didn't have no hits, so I deleted it because I was doing some recon on the algorithm, and it says if you're getting a negative pull on a post, that you can pull it and then try a different time, and then you would have a positive pull in your algorithm. Well, I haven't put it back out there yet, but I did just look. I put up a post yesterday of my kids, and it was at 3 likes yesterday evening, and that's 106. So maybe people are finally seeing my orphans.
Yeah.
So I don't like social media. I don't understand it. I don't. This algorithm stuff's really like, why can't we just post stuff and see stuff? Like, why we got to beat some kind of computer program? I know.
Because it's a business now.
I still write my stuff down. Yeah, I get it. I'm just very old-fashioned. Like my kids sit at my Zoom calls. Like, come on. There's no shame. It's not that I don't know how. I just prefer not to live in this age. And unfortunately, with having a business, it's going to have to be at the hands of social media. So here we are. So yes, I'm very interested in any tricks on how to beat the algorithm because apparently I'm failing.
I'm still learning too. I don't really know everything. I just know lunchtime sometimes is a good time to post for me anyways. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, this may not actually even work, but I always check my live. I pull up on Facebook, to go, like I'm going to go live and look to see how many people are actually on. Like tonight, there was over 200 people on, so I posted and I've already getting engagements.
Let me see.
I don't even know if that really works, but it's worked here in the last week or 2.
So how do you find that? So you just go
pull up to where you're going to post normally.
No, I think she knows.
Yeah, just hit the live button. It won't actually go live.
Live.
Hit that live button. It's going to pop up on the top. Goes on plus how many people?
542.
542 people.
That's awesome.
How many people are on your Facebook?
Well, he said that if someone adds you and they have 12 or more friends in common, that you're supposed to add 3 people every 2 days. So I got all these people on there. I don't add anybody. I don't go out and randomly add people. They're on there. They just add me.
Now, actually, what's your number? What's your friend number on there?
I don't know, probably 542.
I have 264. That's it. Compared to
live.
That's a lot for me. Most of the time, I don't even have. I only have 200.
That's how many friends? I don't know how many. Oh, I have 1,253 friends, but I only know 10 of them.
Yeah, but for 500 and some people, wow, that's a lot. That's I thought you had at least 4,000 or more on your Facebook for that much of a number.
No, I don't know 4,000 people. I don't even know 1,200 people. So I should make a post, is what you're saying.
That's a lot. I would post it for sure.
I would.
Post what?
You have.
What you posted earlier today.
Yeah.
I deleted it. I'll try again.
Yeah.
Camilla, how many do you have?
On live?
No, on friends in general and live right now?
I think she's looking. Yeah, mine says 264.
Mine says 711.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Okay,
where are y'all looking?
If you go to like go to like where you're gonna post, they can't see.
They
that.
can't see it. Yeah,
Go,
right.
go to like
I'm like, you see this?
yeah. Go to like where you're normally gonna post on Facebook.
See the top of that screen?
Yeah, tap that screen and it'll
Right
say
there.
like
Oh. Mm,
Say it or not?
it should say at the top.
Yours said, okay, go back and try again.
Like
Okay,
this.
if I'm here, I hit the live button.
Yeah, hit the live button.
Hit it. Okay.
It should say at the top like
We're all getting really close. Like,
I got nobody.
No,
what's
like,
doing it like that.
no.
Are you
pull it
looking through a
down.
page or a private, Crystal?
This is my it's the app.
Okay. Well, like because our Eden's Harvest page, it won't tell us a number. It's only on our private pages. That's why I didn't know
Your public profile.
your public profile. But like our Eden's Harvest page, it won't say a number.
Crystal,
That's
you
crazy.
have to
So
pull
I
it
have.
down first. Like pull it down. Like there's a refresh, I think, and
Yeah.
it'll show.
Okay. All right. Talk
But
amongst
like
yourselves.
Kamala saying she has 700 and some people. That just like blows my mind. Like this is huge. 264. That's the most I ever have seen on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I didn't know that you could look there.
I have maybe, I don't know, 14 or 1,500 friends on Facebook. I know Kamala, you're pushing what, 4,000, but still,
Yeah.
I just don't have the people on my Facebook aren't active in Facebook
Mhm.
out of that friends list. So
Now-
I have 200 and some.
Does this number change? Because I know that I show up inactive on people's accounts because I have that blocked. So is that what this number is?
Then it's if they're on Facebook either.
Apparently.
And here's the thing too: if they're just if they're people that get notifications, so like if you get a ding when you're not on Facebook that says Kamala went live in Level Up Leaders, then you are one of the people that will show up on that even though you're not on Facebook. But the majority of those people, well, I don't know the majority. That's an inaccurate statement. I don't know that. But the people are either going to get a notification that you're going live because they get notifications, or they're on Facebook right now. That's what that number means. So you can get back on right now and it can say something totally different.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't quite understand. I missed where you find that the people are on.
You go to where you would normally start your post and you click live, but you're not going to go live. You're just going to go to where it is that you would go live, and then it's going to show how many people are active right now at the top.
Okay, mine didn't seem to do that.
On your phone or on your computer? Because I don't know if it does.
I'm on my computer.
I'm not sure if it
This
does.
is interesting. Not a lot of pressure on what to post about now.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? I want to be thoughtful of your time. We're after 8.
So, quick question for me. When I asked about the Instagram, because I post to Instagram so that it does both to save myself time, how does that mess up my algorithm? What does that do?
It posts, or it makes it not as reachable. Is that the right word? It doesn't reach people as well as a post that you've put on yourself. Like that you've actually, because anything that's automated or copy and pasted or shared from somewhere else just looks like, I hate calling it spam, but that is sort of like the flag that goes up on it. Even though it was yours, that's what it still looks like. But the one exception to that is if you copy and paste your Instagram and put it on Facebook, it does not mess it up. It reads it just like it's new. I don't know why you can't just automate it, but you can't without it doing that. Because that's what I was doing too, the little bit that I was on Instagram, because I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a time saver. And Beck actually taught me that. I
So
have
is
no
this
idea.
just for the stories or is this just for the post?
Just for posts. There's no story repercussions for your algorithm just yet.
Instagram just has such, just make a story over there. They turn out so much nicer than Facebook.
They do.
Okay.
Jan
Graham?
asked, what did you say you used to change up a post? But I don't think she's on here anymore. So I'm not sure. That was her question in the chat.
I wonder if she was talking about when Mara said that she changed up a post that she used a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what else that would have referred to. Catherine, did you have another question you said? All right. Anybody else before we hop off?
Yes.
Tabitha, is that you?
Yes. Have you considered any more power hours?
Yeah, well, just what I talked with you about last night, but we haven't made a decision. Janelle and Joe and I and Kayla and Crystal.
I was up Friday, 6 a.m. waiting on somebody.
I know. I'm sorry.
Is there anybody on here that wants to do it at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning? Like, if you do, I'll do it. If you want to do it.
Don't do it just for me, but
No, we'll put it out there. I'm sure probably Ashley, Cherokee, normally would do it.
Molly, you want to do it at 6 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, Molly's in. Molly's my friend, Molly. I just felt so disconnected from Amare this weekend because I was like, I need someone to hold my hand. I'd kind of be honest with you. Like, I'm still so new. I don't know what to do. I'm not embarrassed.
I actually woke up Friday at 6 to do the power hour, and there wasn't one.
So, I mean, it's really, even if we don't ever, I don't know, we talk about it a lot. We really do. But it's nice to know that if I have these little questions like I have right now, I don't have to text you 400 times. I can pump them out in that hour. So, or last time, hour and a half.
And really, like, that's the purpose of doing power hours too, to be able to get everybody's questions, get started, do income producing activities in that power hour time as well. So I would love to have more overall team participation in power hours. I know there was a couple people who had mentioned, like, I'm trying to work on my adjustment of sleep, to be able to get up earlier. So, that could help.
9 p.m. is just so hard for me, considering, 3 children, they have school in the morning.
Yeah.
I know a lot more of you have more children, but it's just a lot easier for me to do 6 a.m.
Yeah, 9's hard for us to do too. What is it, Dad? You want food? A 2-year-old. I don't know. I want food. I think that's what he said.
Oh, I hear him. I want food.
Yeah. All right. Whoever's on for 6 in the morning. Joe said it's a go. So.
Okay. Just send out the invite and we'll be there.
Okay. You'll probably go ahead and make it tonight, won't you, Joe? I'll do it. He'll make it here in just a minute.
Let me ask you, doesn't that boost our algorithm talking in chat, even if it's just amongst one another? In Messenger. In Messenger, Facebook Messenger.
Oh, yeah. Well, the people that you're in Messenger with will then begin to see your post. So it does matter who you're talking to. Like, if you're talking to me, that's not a big deal because you're going to you probably see my post anyway because we chat a lot and vice versa. But like, it makes sense to reach out to people, like with the Amare live invitation via Messenger, because they're the same. They're people you want to see your posts.
Okay.
So if you chat in Messenger, they're going to see your posts.
Well, it's interesting
If they look at
because
the stories, they'll see your posts.
I started messaging people on there versus texting them, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just at my computer." But then I noticed that I started seeing their posts, and I haven't seen their post in like 6 months. So I wondered if it had affected the algorithm because I'm forcing them, like, and it's just easier when we're doing our power hour to message them on there than it is to get out my phone and, So I just wondered if that affected your algorithm as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to do that for sure.
Okay, good. Sorry about so many algorithm questions.
No, you're good. All right. Well, we will chat soon. A lot of stuff coming in Level Up Leaders this week, so stay tuned. You guys have a blessed night.
Good night.